In the room, come on in the room. Bucks win it tonight. Bucks win their fourth in a row, 3 straight on the road. 111-107. Got dicey there. End of the game. But the Bucks do win it. 111-107 over the New Orleans Pelicans. Like I said, that's 4 in a row. 3 in a row on the road. Bucks are now solely in possession with a full game lead over the Detroit Pistons for the 5 seed. So this is an important game. No Giannis, no Dame, no problem. Come on in the room. Doc is our doctor. Right, so she gives us our medicine in our room. We are live. It's Cream City Crossover Group.
Chris King.
Justin.
Yeah. We are in the building. Didn't have a show. You guys always ask me if we had a show. We did not have a show. Every night I try to tell people we don't have a show, but we didn't have a show, and I get like 8 questions. Did you have a show? So my apologies. We'll do better about scheduling programming notes as we let you know whether or not we host a show. But we had one tonight as the Bucks beat the Pelicans. Get at me in the chat. Get at me on the Twitter at TCIIESQ. Got to be a degenerate to be watching tonight. Got to be a degenerate to be watching the game, to watch this post game. But you are. That's why you're in here. That's why you're listening to the Cream City Crossover. Bucks win at 111-107. Good stuff tonight. At the end of the day, this was a must win because it was the next game. And I know it's the New Orleans Pelicans and their G League roster and all the stuff that they bring out and throw out at you. But at the end of the day, you had to find a way to win it. It was a 4-point game. It was the Bucks really. I mean, I don't know what the spread was. I think it was it 10.5? I think it was something like that. You're probably a little upset if you had that because I don't know what it was, but it had to be close. The Bucks were at it. And New Orleans just gets a couple fake threes to end the game there to get it to a 4-point game. But this was not as close as that because the Bucks absolutely dominated the last 10 minutes of this basketball game. But let's do it with the game recap. Gary Trent Jr., the high man tonight, giving you some Giannis numbers, at least in the scoring category. 29, 5 and 1, 10 of 17 from the field, 14 from 3. He was a +1 tonight. Good stuff from GTJ. You really needed that 39 minutes, and I think he needed it because he had an issue where not necessarily slumping. He played well, but he was having some trouble putting together full games. Had a rough night against Miami the other night. So for him to get up 29 tonight and look unconscious, especially in the first half, is really good for him. Kevin Porter Jr., 20 points, 8 boards, 4 assists, 2 steals, 3 of 5 from 3. KPJ, another one, big finish against the Miami Heat. Big plays down the stretch tonight against the Pelicans. I love what I'm seeing from Kevin Porter Jr. There's no way around it. He scores the ball at will, and it feels like once he gets a few going, because he started off slow tonight. He finishes 8 for 18. He started off slow tonight, but once he really gets that thing going, man, Kevin Porter Jr. is dynamite in a pan. Brook Lopez, 2012, 3 assists tonight, 8 of 16 from the field, 2 of 6 of 3. Brook Lopez, to me, another guy where, I thought for 3 quarters, defense was mid to bad. And in that fourth quarter, absolutely picked it up defensively. And I think that was a lot of the difference. It was the fourth quarter, the Bucks just nailed it down defensively. They give up 29 in the fourth, but if you take away those couple threes that, were kind of junk threes, that was a 23-point fourth quarter that the Bucks gave up. I'm really not counting those 3-pointers that they gave up at the end there. So if you take those away, that was a really good fourth quarter, and Brook Lopez was a big part of it. Kyle Kuzma, first half, was excellent tonight, 17, 4 4, 1 steal, 8 of 13, so he shoots 61% from the field. I was told he was Ajax offensively. That's what I was told. Like, I'm not here to toot the horn. I'm just saying somebody lied. There's a lot of cap on the app. And Ajax, he is not. Now, he didn't have a big second half. I'll give it to you. But Ajax ain't giving you 17, 4 and 4 on 61% shooting. That's just not happening. Torian Prince was horrible for most of the game. 3 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. Again, he 1 of 4, but I will say late in the basketball game, he hit a big time. He had a nice drive to the hoop and scored. But for the most part, Torian Prince was pretty bad. He had a big steal, too, in the fourth quarter as well. And I think he got up to Kevin Porter Jr. Kevin Porter Jr. had 3 or 4 breakaway dunks tonight. I will say the Milwaukee Bucks, when it does feel like they move a lot faster. When even when Dame is in the lineup, I'm just talking about just from a running standpoint. Like tonight, they got out in transition often and they were running, so I appreciated that, and I appreciate the backcourt too when Kevin Porter Jr. was in there with Ryan Rollins. Ryan Rollins' career high assists tonight, 14 points, 7 boards, 10 assists, 4 steals. He continues to be pretty good, 5 of 15 tonight, so he didn't shoot the ball well. It was 0 of 3 from 3, but no turnovers. 10 assists, no turnovers tonight. That was the big one from Ryan Rollins. Although you could say that he had a turnover, whatever mess it was at the end of the game, he did. It was just as bad as a turnover. What I like about Ryan Rollins is Doc Rivers, to me, coaches him hard every single night. You can see that he sees a lot in Ryan Rollins because he is, at every time out, he is, going at him. And I don't think it's a bad thing. I think when you're a young player, and I think great players like to be coached. Great players like to be coached. And so, it almost feels like sometimes, Doc Rivers, it almost like he's picking on him. But I don't think that's what it is. I think it's out of love. And I think it's Doc Rivers seeing a young man that has some potential and is saying, hey, stay your ass out the target and make sure you playing some good basketball. And I think I really think that's what it's all about. Is Doc Rivers is teaching this guy how to be an NBA player. And I think Ryan Rollins is one. AJ Green, 6 points, 3 boards, 1 assist tonight, 2 of 6 from the field, 2 of 4 from 3. Pete Nance got in 2 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal. And I'll say this about Pete. I thought he rebounded the ball well tonight. I don't know what all he provides, what all he brings, but it's telling, and we can talk about it maybe in a little bit, that Tyler Smith doesn't play. In a back-to-back, no Giannis. You basically have one big, unless you want to call Kuzma a big. I guess Kuzma does play power forward, but I'm just saying traditional sense. Tyler Smith doesn't get in the game. And I think that's telling for a couple reasons, but I also think it's one of those things where it just goes to show me that if AJ Johnson, because I know that's a big point of contention, if you like AJ, whatever, and I like AJ Johnson, he wouldn't have played. The man was not Doc Rivers, and that's what if you want to blame Doc Rivers, you want to blame ownership, you want to blame the Bucks for, he just wasn't going to play. So I think that's, you're not playing Tyler Smith, you're not playing AJ Johnson. Let's go to the New Orleans Pelicans side of things. Brooks, 13-10, Missy, 18-12. Whoever this kid Reeves is, he was lighting the Bucks up, 23-2-2. I saw somebody say, well, would Reeves start in the Bucks? And I was like, no, Reeves, this is what happens to the Bucks. If Reeves played for the Bucks, he would have been 0 for 10. That's how this goes. He's not, again, I'm not saying he's not good. I've never seen him play. I ain't gonna sit here and lie to you. Never seen him. I'm on my shack. I ain't never seen this guy, never heard of him. But I'm being honest. Elfrid Payton, 0 points, 10 assists. He's 2-pack ass too. I just watch him all the time. And where did he go to school? He went somewhere in Louisiana, right?
Louisiana Tech, I think.
Yeah, Louisiana Tech. He played with Magic. Had the hair. Trash. Bruce Brown, 16-9-4. Torian Prince just let Bruce Brown get to his spot every single time. I didn't understand again. I don't know if that's a Doc thing or if that was just TP. Why are we going over Bruce Brown screens? How many threes he shoot tonight? He took 1 3 tonight. 0 for 1. There's no reason we're going over Bruce Brown's screens when he's trying to get to the same point on the floor every single time. He wants to be free throw line extended, and he either wants to make a play and I would say Bruce Brown has that floater. He is probably one of the better floaters in the game. Kane with 4 points. Some more guys. I don't even know what the hell these guys. I ain't gonna lie, I don't know who these guys are. Somebody had 17-3. Somebody had 11-5-1. I don't know who the hell these guys are. But they took the Bucks to the wire. The only other thing I say, New Orleans, they played hard. And the Bucks don't have big, so you have a hard time rebounding the basketball. I think to me, the point that changed the game was in the third quarter when Doc Rivers went zone. And when Doc went zone, I think that's what hurt the Pelicans. But the Pelicans, I thought they had a great game plan where the Bucks only have Brook Lopez, and especially when he went out of the game. Just attack, get downhill. I thought their shot diet was pretty good. How many threes did they take? They ended up taking 33 threes, shot 36%. But I thought but once Buddy, the Reeves was 5 of 9 from three. I mean, he was knocking them down, and then this Quinionos was 4 or 5 from three. He was knocking them down. So I mean, that was 10 of their threes right there that they. Well, excuse me, that was 12. Excuse me, that's 14 threes right there from those two guys. Half the threes came from two guys taking them. And they hit him at a high clip. But I thought for the most part their shot diet was really good because they knew to get downhill, to go to the basket and attack from the mid-range and from inside. And I thought they did a good job at that. Bucks did a really good job of holding on to the basketball. The Bucks only had 7 turnovers tonight. 4 came from Kyle Kuzma, but only 7 turnovers as a group tonight. And that's your backcourt with Kevin Porter Jr. And Rollins combined for 14 assists and 0 turnovers. So that's pretty good. They took care of the basketball tonight. I don't know what the rebound numbers were, but I thought that was big. And I thought in transition, they got a fast break. And I know they killed New Orleans at fast break points tonight. So good job. End of the day, you had to go get a win. You wouldn't got to win 111-107. I will take it. 4 in a row, 3 on the road. I'll take it. That's what I saw. Chris King, what'd you say?
Yeah, to me, it's not like playing for big blowout victories anymore. I think it's playing for this 5 seed. And the Bucks going on 4 games straight now, they certainly have rise to the challenge that I didn't know if they'd be able to do. I wouldn't have been surprised had they lost this game tonight. I wouldn't have been surprised had they not clawed back and beat the Miami Heat, but they did it, and that's what's most important to me. I think tonight what you saw was the Bucks tried to get the ball to Brook Lopez a lot more down the stretch, and when they did that, they found success. They found success when he was working in the one-on-one. They found success diving to the basket when he had the ball in the post, and that's why I think they were able to kind of separate and win this game. And I loved watching that because that's what Brook should do against no-name players, against players that really come nowhere close to his experience, to his length, to his size, and to the player that he is. KPJ. We'll talk about how he performed against, the Heat in that 4-game stretch. But I thought he was tremendous. I thought him and Gary Trent Jr. Together on the court pose a different kind of look for opposing teams because they actually, create turnovers and they can get out in transition, and then that opens up the half-court game as well. So I like seeing that. I like seeing Ryan Rollins even, getting back down and getting coming off the bench. And he still was able to get a decent amount of run. They rolled with KPJ a lot more tonight, but that's because he's coming off a great game. And I wanted to see how he would respond from a really good game, and he did a good job. So to me, yeah, I just think that the Bucks, they handled business like they needed to, and we're coming for that 5 seed. It looks like, hopefully.
Yeah, we didn't get any audio from Doc tonight. I don't know. Maybe he's just like, man, I'm out. A lot of these guys for New Orleans, it's funny you said they were no names and didn't know their names. A lot of them guys, and Marcus Johnson kind of alluded to it, that they were playing in Birmingham the night before for whatever their G League affiliate is down there in Alabama. I saw a lot of energy from Pete Nance, though. I was really impressed with him. Like we talked about the air quote, the fake rebounds and stuff like that earlier on in the year. Pete Nance picked those up today. And I think that's what Tish was talking about in the chat. We won the rebounding game. He was a big part of that. Just key offensive rebounds and hustle plays. He was the post-game interview on the show, and I don't know what he said. I mean, smart guy, but he didn't really add much to it. But it was just good to see a guy get in there and rebound the ball, man. Our guard played a backcourt. Absolutely amazing. Kyle Kuzma brought it when we needed him to bring it. And then at times he kind of deferred to when Gary Trent Jr. was cooking, which I thought that's great. Brook, when it was time to take the game over, he showed why he's a proven NBA veteran. I think at 37 years old, he shows what his value is on his team. I think at 37 years old, he's going to have some lapses, and we're going to see that on the defensive end, on the athleticism, and stuff like that. Do I think Brook Lopez will be a Milwaukee Buck next year? I don't know. But what I saw for him tonight, what I saw for him since Bobby and Jericho Sims has been out, has been enough to get this team to a 5 seed. That's the most important thing for me, getting up to that 5 and setting up this matchup, hopefully with these Indiana Pacers.
I don't know. I think the Pacers won tonight, but Joker absolutely. Just the numbers Joker put up against the Pacers lets me know Giannis is going to go absolutely. I want the 5 seed. I want Indiana. Giannis is going to absolutely destroy the Pacers. In the series, especially when all I hear about is the Miami Heat is the Giannis stopper. Bam is the Giannis stopper. Triple-double on the Giannis stopper here last night. Let's see. NYC Demon with the super chat. We appreciate it. My guy says everybody was great. AJ getting that shot back will be huge in the playoffs. KPJ last game, man, I'm still hyped about it. He did everything, and he is low-key a good rebounder. Pete seems solid. Can't lie. Yeah, again, guys are here for roles. And I think, there's a role that Pete Nance came into play. And I don't know. And because I want to ask you guys, and maybe I want to talk about this win for a second longer, but I do want to ask you eventually at some point about why Tyler Smith didn't play over a Pete Nance when that's the guy you drafted and you play the 10-day guy. But what I'll say is, like you mentioned, Justin, like Pete Nance came in, there was a role. I think the role was go in, look springy, go get rebounds. We getting killed on the glass, and he went and did that. Again, he's not Jericho Sims, good as far as grabbing rebounds and going and being as athletic as that. But he went out and did his job. He did the role that I was looking for him to do. So I appreciate it. Again, the Bucks to me looked like, again, maybe the only time it's just funny. The only time that I think they looked like they got outworked was early in the first quarter. I thought after that the Bucks were, and again, this is a change from what we typically see. The Bucks are usually the team that doesn't work as hard, the team that's usually relying on the skill. And maybe because you don't have Giannis, because you don't have Dame, maybe you look like, hey, we got to rely on more of our effort and our want to tonight. But I thought the Bucks looked like the scrappier team, the team that wanted to go get it. I agree, NYC. Yeah, that AJ Green looking like he's got a shot back is it's definitely a big deal. And Kevin Porter Jr. and Lisa Byington alluded to it as well on the broadcast tonight. I'm with her. I agree. I think they look a lot better when Kevin Porter Jr. and Ryan Rollins. I'm not gonna say better, but I think it's a good backcourt duo pairing when they're in there together. And I wonder, again, Damian Lillard, if he comes back, we'll see. But if Damian Lillard's back, maybe you do a little bit of that even in the playoffs where – because I was thinking, maybe one of those guys loses some minutes, but maybe not. Maybe, they will lose minutes, but maybe they don't have to have one person have their minutes completely cut off. Maybe you do roll out a lineup where it's Kevin Porter Jr. and Ryan Rollins in the backcourt together. And again, when Ryan Rollins is taking care of the basketball, only thing he didn't do well tonight was shoot it. But I didn't think he took any bad shots. Again, it's a make or miss league. I've always said, and that's the same thing. And I see somebody in the chat. Tara Clayton says Kuz looking just fine today. Same thing about Kuz to me. I don't missing shots is not a problem. That's not like Ryan Rollins was 5 of 15 tonight. You're not about to hear me come and be like, oh, he should have shot the ball. No, missing shots is not the problem. When you do all the other little things right, he ran the offense. It's a make or miss league. Sometimes you're gonna miss shots. Take those exact same. The only bad shot he took was the one at the end of the game. It didn't make any sense. But outside that, I thought he was really good. I like both of those guys together in the backcourt. Very springy, looking for steals and just impacting the game on both ends.
Well, what really killed us in the game versus the Hawks was the amount of turnovers that our backcourt had. And when you look at the game without Giannis tonight, it gives these guys a little more experience, more playing time, and then for them to not have any turnovers on the night is significant, I think, because now when you bring Giannis back into the game and into the fold, like if they're able to keep that up, like those are the little things that need to happen in the NBA when you don't have Damian Lillard on the team basically right now. So if these guys can be experienced, keep turnovers at a minimum, and then Giannis comes back, I think that'll bode well for the future when he does come back and we get into the playoffs.
Yeah, gaining valuable minutes, like you said, man. Ryan Rollins learning to play basketball at such a high level is great. And him finding out that even when your shot doesn't go in, you can still tremendously impact this game and change the narrative of the entire game. I thought he did a great job at that, and that's just sharing that basketball. Our guards are just, the more time they get to play with Dame healing and hopefully coming back at some point to really take us over that hump, I think it's valuable, not only just for this year, but for next year and the upcoming years as well. Because, we can't kid ourselves and act like Damian Lillard is not 30 plus and like he's going to be here forever. So we're going to need someone to come in and fill in after Dame time is done forever. The other thing I'll say about Tyler Smith, I just think that maybe his body is not NBA ready yet. He's going to continue to put on more weight, get in the gym, play with bigs like Bobby, Brook, and Giannis and Kuzma and all these guys, all these big guys we got, and learn a way to get into this NBA flow. Because I don't think he's there yet. To me, he's cold right now, and I think he will become a diamond. But right now, he's just not a diamond yet.
And I don't disagree. I don't disagree at all. It's just one of those things where, again, it's the same thing, kind of like AJ Johnson. AJ Johnson doesn't have an NBA body yet either, but I think people would like to have. Again, I know a lot of people based on what he's doing in Washington, but they would like to see it. And it's one of those things where, we have guys that played so poorly throughout the year, like DeLon Wright, like AJ Johnson could have played. We have guys that haven't done what they're supposed to do, and you go, well, maybe you should be. That's what part do you look to develop the guys that you have? And so again, I question it, but I don't disagree. I don't disagree at all that Thompson doesn't have an NBA body. Maybe he's not ready, but do you live through some of those growing pains? Now it's the end of the year. You got to have wins. So I understand it a little bit more now, but early in the season, is that something that you maybe should have done? I don't know. I don't know at all. Kevin Porter Jr. is getting back to him. I mean, I'm talking about guys we got to keep in the future. Kevin Porter Jr. he's got to be a guy that you bring back. Like, to me, he's got to be a guy that whatever you have with that middle of exception in the year or however you got to get, you've got to bring him back, because you could have a guy that looks, again, he was with a $50 million a year man until he got into some trouble. So he's a guy you got to look to bring back. Looking in the chat, Forte says, come on in the room. Says, going to miss Gary Trent Jr. next year. Squad was hooping. To Tony World's making some jokes about Chris Middleton. And then Mickey says, never heard 95% of the players that pay for the Pelicans. Couple guys, Al McGuire saying the Crimson crossover took a low management night last night. Yeah, we did. My bad. It is what it is. And Todd says, and then Tish lets us know that we did win the rebounding battle. So appreciate that. Cream City talking about he hasn't seen us in the 5-serve. But again, listen, I'm not even going to address. I'm not going to address that kind of stuff, because again, it's one of those things where people, the Bucks are worldwide. This man grew up in Milwaukee. So I'm not even going to go. I'm not going. I'm not. I'm talking about my man Cream City 1846 talking crazy.
What did he say?
But he said I still haven't seen bro the blue Milwaukee hat at 5-serve. Bro, know what time it is. Come back to the city, my guy.
What time it is? My watch broken. I don't know what time it is, dog. Like, who are you? Don't hide behind your little YouTube stuff and then, hey, you know what time it is, my guy, I don't know what that means. I'm Milwaukee through and through. I've been there. Hey, but we wasn't on no load management. Shout out to the city of New Orleans, man. Hey, my bad, real quick. That Dreamville. And from when I lived in Milwaukee, the biggest group and the biggest dudes that was coming through at the time was Lil Wayne and the Hot Boys.
Yeah.
Birdman, Manny Fresh. Saw them all last night live in the Fresh at Dreamville. Felt like it was 1998, Chris King. And shout out to Brother Bob at Mesmer High School. Felt like he was running me off their campus again for trying to chase down the Mesmer women, man.
One more time, another super chat from NYC Demon. Want to appreciate the super chats as always. He says, Tyler Smith pick never made sense to me. He isn't a 5 more before, but not super athletic. He's like Mamu with the Spurs. We have to be better in the draft based off needs, not potential. Listen, I don't disagree with that take either. Again, I just say it would have been nice if you draft the guys, you got to develop them. If not, don't draft them. So it's almost like, is the front office working in connection with Doc? Like, are they not? That's my only thing. I totally agree with NYC, but once you draft them, you either got to play him or Chris Livingston's still getting DNP CDs. Like, he's the next guy to me that's got to go. I mean, what are we doing? It's been 2 years and he can't even touch the court on a back-to-back where you need athleticism and you're looking for a guy. Can't touch the court. I mean, I don't know what we're doing. I don't know what we're doing.
Well, neither of them really strike me as athletic enough to even be on the NBA floor right now. And when you get so late into the season, you would think that you would have played those guys more, but you haven't. And so to rely on them to when now you're in a dire situation to try to at least get up to that 5 seed, and you got to win at all costs, even if it's against a team that's undermanned. Like, how are you going to put those guys out there when you just have nothing to go off of? You have no trust in those guys. They didn't show you enough in even summer league preseason to roll with them in any points. Like, and then on top of that, you went. It's funny because they actually went at the deadline and got what they needed more so than they've used the draft to use or to do and get younger and get athletic. They use the deadline to go get those kind of guys, and all these guys that you're drafting and using second round picks on, maybe late first round picks on, they're not seeing the floor. So that's clearly an issue. I agree with NYC Randy in saying that they're just not utilizing the draft enough.
And I said it before, I believe John Horst is a much better talent evaluator of guys already in the NBA than he is of prospects coming into the NBA. Like, I think he does a great job. Somehow when he sees you against NBA competition, he can pick out the hot spots and the talent and where you need it. Before, as a prospect coming in, no clue. But again, I don't know. Maybe he did hit on AJ Johnson. Again, I'm still skeptical because I'm never a big, I'm one of those, when you score on bad teams, somebody got to, like I said, again, case in point, look what these dudes in New Orleans is doing tonight. Look what these dudes in New Orleans is doing tonight. That doesn't mean, like again, substitute these guys for AJ Johnson. It's like, that we could have had. I don't know what any of these guys are going to do anything like this moving forward. But on bad teams, somebody's got to score. I have no idea. So that's all I'm saying. And I hope AJ Johnson does well. I'm just saying, pump the brakes on a couple nice games here, and he has some very high flying, fantastic moves. I just say, look at a game like New Orleans. Look at these group of guys, and tell me, like, oh my God, you're excited about one of those prospects. I looked at them all. I really wasn't. I wasn't.
So with Tyler Smith, I'm not as upset about that just because he's a second round pick. And I understand the value of draft picks and stuff like that, but usually your second round picks are throwaways. I think if you have a bigger point of contention with Mr. Horst, it is your AJ Johnson pick. Your second rounds, I'm cool with you swinging for the misses. I know NYC Demon mentioned Ty Washington, Chris Livingston. All those guys are just roster fillers when you have a top-loaded roster like we have, to have bodies in case someone gets hurt to fill out a basketball game. Where you can't have your misses at the end of the draft is with your DJ Wilsons,
Marjan,
AJ Johnson. Who else?
Marjan,
there you go, absolutely. Guys like that, man. And, I mean, that was like what we were talking about the other night, Trey. Marjan's a guy that if he gets off the bus, he looks like a dog. He looks like a hooper. And then he gets on the floor, and he's just, I don't know if it's his personality, whatever it is, but he's just so reserved and laid back. And I don't really think we needed a laid back guy like that to impact this Milwaukee Bucks team who's in a win now mode. AJ Johnson is a perfect pick. He's actually a better, I hate to say this, he's a better pick for the Washington Wizards than what Johnny Davis was.
100%.
Shout out to all y'all Badger fans in the chat. But it's not what we needed at this time. I think Chris talked about it early on in the season. The kid out in Phoenix would have been a much better serviceable player for the Milwaukee Bucks at that pick. And one last thing, shout out to Al McGuire. They're definitely Dookies. They're not Air Force Ones.
Well, and then just real quickly, like, I think that the leash needs to be a little quicker on some of these guys, though. Like, even if you're using them as a throwaway pick or you're swinging for the fences, like, why is Chris Livingston just holding up a roster spot? Like, why is he still on the team? If he hasn't showed us anything that could be like, okay, he can maybe impact winning when we have guys out, or he may be able to play a certain type of role on this team. If he's just going to be a DMP guy for 2 years going on now, hey, it's time to cut the rope.
I asked it when the summer league. I think we have a video that's posted where I was like, I never could figure out what he does. And people told me he's a 5-tool player. Okay, show me the tools. I just never saw it. I know he's one of those guys who can run, he can jump, and he's, I don't know what is he, 6'7", something like that. So he has enough. He's a get off the bus guy too. Get off the bus, look, it don't look that it looks intimidating, but you see him play. And it's really not. As we keep going, Bucks do win 4 in a row, so it's pretty good as they roll. Go ahead. What's up?
No, my bad. Just one thing. In NYC Demon, I see all the second-round picks you put in there. You could add Malcolm Brogdon to that. There's a lot, but you're naming like 10 to 12 to 15 players over the hundreds that don't make it. That's what my point is. I mean, we could use AJ Green as a serviceable player who wasn't drafted, who played. You're going to have those guys, those hit and misses. But where my thing is, and I'm not saying you're wrong either. We do got to draft better. I'm not saying Chris is wrong. Chris has been on that. Trey's been on that for a long time. We do have to draft better. But my point is just your first rounds have to be more solid than any other thing that you do as a GM. And if you're not going to do that, do like John Horst's been doing. Trade those picks and get NBA talent that can win now.
Well, and that's the thing. I think a lot of people don't like that. Oh, that's the big thing that I don't get the controversy now. Jay Crowder didn't work out. I got 5 second-round pick to do what with these guys? You want a Chris Livingston? You want a Tyler Smith? Like, what are we gonna do with these second-round picks? Do you know what you were gonna do with them? Throw them in more trades. That's all you're gonna do with the other second rounds. 5 more trades that you can use it for, because you clearly wasn't finding a lot of talent in them. So again, maybe out of the 5 that you gave for Jay Crowder, maybe we would have halfway hit on one. I'm not as worked up about it as some other people here. As again, Bucks do win 4 in a row, 3 in a row on the road. Good stuff. Todd Maryland says Brook is very useful in spots. I would bring him back on a reasonable deal because with the Bucks cap situation, they're not getting a better replacement. And Todd, I've thought about this, and Todd, you're not wrong. Brook Lopez tonight, and Justin, you mentioned it. Brook Lopez, in a game that you needed, was a guy that came down, and I mean, he dominated the fourth quarter. He dominated like you don't win this game without Brook Lopez last 2 minutes of the game. That was vintage Brook on both ends, where they used him as if he was like a superstar. Reminded me, you know what it reminded me of? You remember that when the Golden State Warriors came to town? This is for Cream City, 1845, whatever. Say we don't be in a building. You remember when the Golden State Warriors came in town? They were 24-0, riding high, and you know what the Bucks did to close out that basketball game? They dumped that thing down to Greg Monroe about 8-9 times in a row the last 6-7 minutes of the game, and he destroyed the Golden State Warriors to put the 24-1. Mallory Eaton's on him, had the shirts on, sitting front row. But that's what Brook Lopez looked like tonight. It was like, okay, we need to close this game out, and the only thing that we know for a fact is going to do it is screen, pick and roll, Brook Lopez, give the Brook in the paint, and he was bodying, Yves Messi. He was he's little thin in the waist, but he's a big a big body, big high fly jumper, all that. And Brook Lopez absolutely destroyed him on multiple occasions. Was not able to be stopped. So I'll say this for Todd when Todd talks about, and Todd says Chris was a second round pick. Yes, Chris Middleton was. He wasn't a Bucks second round pick. Again, John Horst is very good at picking up guys who are other teams' talent who are in the league, not good at drafting him on his own. But going back to it, right? I forgot where I was getting. The Brook Lopez. When you talk about him re-signing for, I don't mind him back. And I say, Brook Lopez got to be gone. But it has to be a team, a very team. This has to be one of those things where Brook Lopez is saying, hey, I want to finish with the Bucks. Hell, maybe everybody love to keep everybody jerseys up in the Raptors. Maybe Brook plays another 2 years and gets his jersey in the Raptors. I don't know. But to me, that situation, when I talk about a team, I'm talking about like, could he come back for what? Because you have to start planning for the future. But could he come back for that's what I don't know. Yeah, is he coming back for? I don't think he's coming back for a veteran minimum, but like it's got to be a very team friendly deal to come back from, and then and you're using him as your backup or your guy that comes plays 15 minutes a night or something like that as you look to move into the future. I wouldn't be upset at that, but you have to start moving towards the future.
Yeah. So.
Go ahead, Justin. You're good.
Hey, so look, like with Brook, I am probably, at least out of the 4 of us, I am a big Brook proponent. However, the reason why I say veteran minimum, because I truthfully believe we overpaid for him against Houston. So he's a few from us. And if you check the sneakers that he had when he was walking into the building tonight, Brook don't blow his money. So he's very smart and frugal with his money. So that veteran million will do well for him. But the thing I like about Brook, though, truthfully, is I think he is a team guy. I said truthfully twice. So it must be true. He's a team guy. He does a lot of things, and he can do things well in spurts. But at the same time, if Brook wants anything more than that, and I hate to say this because I'm a big proponent of Brook and Bobby, the league has the tape on you as well. Trey, I don't think you're wrong when you point out his lapses. I can't respond to them all on Twitter because it's so many, right? But, like, there's times, and I truthfully don't know if it's Brook being lost or if it's this perimeter guy, that perimeter guy, but we do know one thing. When you need a bucket, Brook can deliver. He can deliver from the perimeter. He's a valuable player for this team, and he's valuable to the city, but I just don't know at what cost we bring him back, man. We got to get younger and we got to get athletic. I mean, Chris talked about it a few shows ago when we brought in Jericho Sims, and it kind of brought a different energy to this team. Him just running and jumping all over the floor completely changed the makeshift of this entire roster. It has guys playing better. Him and KPJ and Kuzma on the defensive end have changed the course of what this season potentially can be for us, provided we get two of those monster guys back and fully healthy in a playoff run this year.
When you look at some of the qualities that Brook Lopez has, I think there could be use for him later on in his career because of the way his career went. Not a guy who shot a lot of threes, but then when he went to Milwaukee, he starts lighting it up from three, and then just that kind of veteran experience and having that kind of career change and trajectory. Like, if you bring in a young guy, maybe from college, that doesn't have a three ball but is physically imposing and does some of the things Brook Lopez could do, like, that would be good. I think he could take that kind of mentor role, which is why I thought they should have probably went big in the draft instead of went with an A.J. Johnson. Most of the bigs were selected, I know, before the Bucks pick, but maybe they could have got a little risky and maybe have gotten that Missy kid that we saw tonight. Maybe gotten Ware if they were able to.
Ware would have been Ware would have been great.
And those were guys we talked about, but that's kind of a big reason I would maybe bring Brook back. It's not so much of what he brings you. I get he has a good offensive game still, but defensively it's tough. And then you've also seen some of the qualities of having a guy that can come in and take some minutes from Brook, because Jericho Sims has done that at certain points in this season where Brook has ultimately benefited and played better after sitting a long time. I don't think we've had a reliable big man to even have Brook take under his wing. So it's you really haven't even tried that. Maybe you try that this offseason.
Hey,
go.
Just one quick. Hey, the 24-1 Streak Buster shirt?
Yeah.
I still work out of mine.
There you go. There you go. Ty says the worst Trey's first rounder for Toronto Raptors. He had to play like 3 games when Kid was coach. Is that Grievous Vasquez? Is that who he's talking about?
Yeah. Oh, that was terrible. He's right. He is right.
That was a rough one.
NYC Demo was right on that one too. That did. We were just looking.
Serge Ibaka. Yeah.
Dante just looking to unload him. Oh.
And Serge was upset too. He wasn't playing.
Where's he at now?
I have no idea. I don't know. KML92 says we need Nas Reed or Bam. Bam would be a good get. I don't know how we could do that, but I would love that. Bam, imagine Giannis and Bam as your front court would be. That'd be crazy.
They got the same agent.
Again, Bucks do. I do want to get into and just talk about for a second. You get 4, and this will coincide kind of with the schedule. You do get 4 in a row. Which is big, start again. These are you have to win. Listen, you have to win the games they put in front of you. And so you beat Philly by 13. You come back on Saturday. You have the win last night against the Heat. You beat the Pelicans. And who did we beat before that? We beat the Suns before that. With Devin Booker, no KD. So you win 4 games in a row. Very important. And Tuesday night will be important as well for a lot of different reasons. One, because right now you are a full game ahead of the Detroit Pistons for the 5 seed. There is, I believe, and Todd or somebody in the chat tell me, I know the Bucks are 2-0 right now against Detroit. Do we have let's say, and when I say this, I mean, I believe there's a scenario where if the Bucks are 2 games up on Detroit end of the year, they won't need either one of those 2 games because a tie, even if Detroit was 2-2 against the Bucks, the Bucks, don't they hold the tiebreaker even with the same record? I believe the Bucks hold that tiebreaker as well. Somebody let me know if that's true. I believe there's a scenario that the Milwaukee Bucks could face the Detroit Pistons and not have to play anybody at all and basically rest that on out, or at least rest Giannis, and still win, even if Detroit won both of those basketball games. And when you look at the schedule coming up, you have the Timber. If Sacramento and I believe Sacramento played. Well, they played tonight against the Cavaliers, so it might be tough because they're going to be on a back-to-back. But the Sacramento Kings just beat the Cleveland Cavaliers. Zach LaVine went off tonight. Sabonis had 27, 9, and 7. Zach LaVine had 37 points. DeMar DeRozan had 28 points. So it's going to be a tough ask to ask them to come back out tomorrow night and go beat the Detroit Pistons. And Jacob says, yeah, it goes off division record. So somebody let me know what the division record is for the Bucks and the Pistons right now. But Monday night, Sacramento has Detroit. And if they lose that one, then the Bucks have the Timberwolves. If they win, that game almost was inconsequential, but if you win that game, you're sitting really pretty. And I think the even bigger piece on that is that both teams will be in action on Thursday night. The Pistons have the Knicks, and the Bucks play the same Pelicans team again. And so you could, in theory, be up 2 games or more on Detroit when we get to Thursday. Now, the bigger piece about this, the other piece that we didn't mention just now, is on Tuesday night, Mr. Pill Bottle comes back, Bobby Portis. And I want you guys, and it's funny the way this season has gone. I know I've come full circle on this, to where I was begging for Bobby Portis to get on the first train out of town, and I am ecstatic that on Tuesday night, Bobby Portis will come back to this lineup after 25 games suspension. Oh, by the way, we can hate on the Kuz trade. We can hate on all the stuff we want to, but a lot of guys in and out of the lineup on it. 25 games that Bobby Portis is going, Bucks for 15 and 10. That's a good number to me for your legitimate 6-man guy. And you go 15 and 10 with Dame missing a lot of that. Giannis missed some grips of games in that. I don't think that's that bad. But Bobby Portis comes back on Tuesday night. What are you expecting from Bobby Portis as he gets ready to go and geared up? I think, and it's a home game, I think that, and people are saying Bobby, I think the chants are going to be very loud for Bobby Portis on Tuesday night. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I think you're going to see a lot more firepower in some of these second units. I think that's been kind of an issue at some points because there's times where it may be KPJ, it may be AJ Green, it may be Gary Trent Jr. who just have off nights, and it certainly impacts the half-court offense, the way this offense runs. And if you get Bobby Portis back, and now we've had some problems with his inconsistencies before. We've had some problems with his inconsistencies offensively. But I do think he provides enough and scoring in the front court to make some of these second units really damn dangerous at some points. Like, say if KPJ is having a game, or Ryan Rollins, pick one of them, is having a really good game in the playoffs, and then you've got Bobby Portis as well in those type of lineups, like that could really be dangerous for some defenses. So I think it'll be good. Rebounding, yeah, I think that'll help as well. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing where we're at with Bobby and how he's kind of progressed and how that kind of chemistry will look like on Tuesday with some of these guys that he's presumably been playing with in practice that they just haven't been out on the NBA floor with.
One second, Justin, and because Basketball Reach says the Pistons are 5-9 division record, Bucks are 7-7. So that means they will. So in theory, then if the Bucks rested those last 2 games, they would both be 7-9. So then what is the next tiebreaker? Because that means they would be tied record-wise, head-to-head. They'd be tied record-wise division. So somebody in the chat, let me know the next tiebreaker. Sorry about that. Go, Justin.
No, I got you on the next tiebreaker, too. I was looking at that, but I didn't think we would come to that. Conference record would be next after that.
Conference record. Okay, I'll take a look. Go ahead.
I told y'all I'm going to stop reading the chat during the show, man, because NYC Demon and someone else said Bobby getting ejected first game back because he go elbow somebody in the neck. Like that's as wild as Pill Popping Bobby or whatever you said, man. Like it's wild out here in these streets on a late Sunday night. But this is what I want all y'all to do in the chat. I want y'all that are in the Milwaukee Metroland area, buy a ticket to that game. But I don't want you to piss Trey and Chris King off. Excuse me, not out, off. Go to that game, and when Bobby does something that is truthfully worthwhile, then yell Bobby. Because if you yell when he pushes someone in the sideline or something like that, my brothers are going to get upset. And they're going to come on the show and they're going to tell you about it. And I'm going to be fighting this uphill battle again. And I'm going to lose again, and that's okay. No, but what I'm really looking for, I'm looking for Bobby just to come back with a lot of energy, and I'm looking for a boost. But not a boost just for the Detroit Pistons. It'll be great to have him against Isaiah Stewart, though. I mean, you want to punch somebody? You want to elbow somebody? He's the right guy for that. But it's going to be great to have him back for the postseason, and let's just hope his energy, along with maybe a healthy someone else that has a blood clot clearing up, Game 3, Game 4, Game 2. I'm not Trey. I'm not predicting nothing. I'm just speaking from a straight fan, and I want to see Dame back. Maybe he comes back too. And maybe we could send that boy back to Oshkosh and let him borrow one of my ex-wife's brooms, like Tim Allen says on the post-game show for the Brewers.
Well, it's funny. So people mention the conference record. So that if that's what it is, the Bucks would need. They would need one of those games because the Bucks are 29-21 in the conference. Detroit's 28-21. Even if Detroit lost to New York, they would then be 28-22. If Detroit won both of those games, they would have the better conference record because they would be 30-22. Bucks would be 29-23.
And Detroit has no more division games left other than the Bucks, correct?
Correct. Right. So yeah. So what I'm saying is the Bucks would. So the Bucks would to clear this up. The Bucks would, if they would need to not have to win either one of those games, they would need to be up 2.5 games on Detroit. 2 games is not enough. Because a tie would give it to a tie with Detroit winning those last 2 against Milwaukee would give Detroit the tiebreaker by a conference record. So damn. So you probably aren't going to be in a situation in the year where you're going to need at least one of those games. And you're going to be in a situation where you probably can't. Well, I guess if you tie with them and you won one, you would have the better conference record. So again, that's just an interesting point just to think about. But Chris, you mentioned before we got on that the Bucks needed to win. I think we were talking about what the Bucks need to be in the next 4 or 5 games. They win 4 in a row. So they are taking care of business. You come back, you're going to play a Minnesota team, try and get a win against them. I think it's going to be a fun game, and we'll see if you can control Anthony Edwards. But I think it's just one of those games where, Bobby Portis comes back with a lot of energy in the building, and I think it's going to really help that second unit, to be honest. And I think it will help with Kyle Kuzma because I believe you notch him down a level of like an option. I really think right now Kyle Kuzma's playing at an option level that he doesn't need to be. Again, the trade was made so that Kyle Kuzma was never supposed to be like this third option guy, second out. He was never supposed to be that. He's been having to bump up because Damian Lillard has been there, because Bobby. But even in that second unit, I don't really want Kuz running the show. Like I don't halfway want Bob, but I'd rather have those duties split a little bit. And Bobby's a better offensive player as well, just about his bag of moves that he can get to. So again, I think it will help 100%. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm really looking forward to Bobby Portis getting in the lineup and having some fun and bringing that energy. Somebody said over under on half a tech or what on the tech. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised because I think Bobby, again, I know he's gonna have a lot of energy coming in. Ty says Lillard's just a guy. Totally disagree with that.
Well, I'll also say about Bobby, and it's not even just the tech part. Like, he's going to keep, Isaiah Stewart in check. He's going to keep some of those guys in check that want to hard foul Giannis, and because Giannis will probably play at least one of those games. Hopefully he doesn't. Hopefully he doesn't have to. But hey, having a guy that can check some of these kids that think that they can just go up and grab 34's jersey on a layup and stuff like that, that's not going to fly anymore. Too many times when he was out, we let that fly.
No, absolutely, man. Bobby's got to come back, and I want him to get every Cream City crossover fake rebound there is in this world, man. I need every one of them. Go back and watch our tape, Big Bob. Watch it. We need, pause. I'm going to pause before I say it. We need Big Bob on their ass. Pat Bev, you need to come sit first row. But I'm about to get off the rails. I'm on my JT stuff now. The Bucks are the most pettiest franchise in the NBA. You mentioned Mallory Edens. You remember back in the Toronto series, she had to push her T-shirt on. Yeah. We need to win this game Tuesday, right? I'm going to let Anthony Edwards' baby mama come sit courtside. We got to win by any means necessary.
Which one?
Oh, all of them. All three of them.
Yeah, and she should have her papers ready to sign too. She needs to serve him at halftime with the child support papers. But you know what else needs to happen?
Go to Curly's.
You need to get the Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill, Pewaukee, Wisconsin, Lakeview Boulevard. Get out there, man. It's a great time out there at Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill. We are wrapping up the season. So get out there. $3 bottles of pints for every televised game. I don't know if the Bucks have another national televised game. I'm not too sure. But also on Wednesdays, Thursday, what are they doing?
Bingo trivia.
And if you got the bingo trivia, what can you get?
Chris King's Bucks tickets.
There you go. Section 102, row 23, seats 1 and 2. And, they may ask you a question like who has the most first round draft picks? What college has the most first round draft picks in the NBA? That overall.
Chris King got it. I know he do.
Which college basketball team has the most first round draft picks overall? Hey, easy. Chris King gets that one. You're right. It is Kentucky Wildcats. I believe they have 60 right now. So that's a good one. Chris King. So boom, there you go. You do that, you could be going to the next Bucks home game with those tickets. So good stuff there.
So we got a tough question for Curly's though, because every playoff game is nationally televised out. So we just gonna go ahead and extend that $3 joint through the entire playoffs.
Yeah, I had to ask though. I'll get on that and ask them. See if they're gonna be able to get drunk under the bar out there, Curly's during those playoff games.
Hey, NYC Demon, like perfect name for the homie. He said, and the kids too.
Yeah. Todd says I talked to about 20 Bucks fans in the last 3 days. They all think Dame's just a guy. Okay, you talked to 20. Chris, do you think Dame's just a guy?
No, I don't.
No. Okay, so that's Chris. There's one. Justin, do you think Dame's just a guy?
I think he's one of the best scorers of all time.
Okay, I don't think Dame's a jag either. I think he's a legitimate player. I think he's one of the better point guards in the East, 100%. Again, he puts up numbers. So 3 of us say no. I don't know what 20 you got to. But no, I'm not gonna go with that. That he's just the guy. I'm sorry, I can't do it.
He asked him at Curly's after they had $3 drafts. That's what he did.
I had to be.
Shout out to Todd though.
What's this? Al McGuire. I don't think there's a big gap between KPJ and Dame. Let's just stay there for like 2 seconds, and then we'll get on the game balls. He says, I don't believe there's a big drop-off between KPJ and Dame. I let you guys go with that. Do you think there's a big drop-off between Dame and Kevin Porter Jr.?
Well, yes, there is a big drop-off. I got to say it because I think Dame has proven throughout his career and now even with the Bucks that he is he's better than KPJ. Like, there's a big gap. You look at what he did against the Pacers last year. If that's all I'm going off of over his Bucks career, even the bad regular season stuff he's had, there's a gap there. Well,
and before you go, Justin, I'll just say this too. Like, I think the gap also is how he's defended. So I think that opens. I don't think you're giving enough credit to how much of the floor he opens up because he gets blitzed, because he gets doubled, because of how they have to defend him. I don't think teams go into games with game plans to stop Kevin Porter Jr. Now they may have figured out at the end of the game, like, damn, we should have had a game plan to stop him. But I really don't think that they do that. Well, I know they don't because of how they defend him. So no, I think for that reason alone, because Damian Lillard, the gravity of him opens up more of your offense. No, I don't think Kevin Porter Jr. gives you the same ability.
I'm trying to get this thing to work. I don't know if it's on, man. You see the joint? It's dank. Like, nah. I agree. I actually agree. Who said it? It's not that big of a drop off. I agree. It's not that big of a drop off. It's a massive drop off. What are we talking about? Like, I don't even need to talk anymore. You said everything I was going to say. Go ahead. Next.
Tom Garden says KPJ got more lobs than Dame in 2 seasons. Now, I will say that is.
Wait,
It
what
does.
do you mean?
He's saying, I think, and I really think he's talking about the synergy with Giannis. Like, that is a thing. Like, it does. I think the biggest thing that they're missing is like this. Dame does not seem to have caught this connection with Giannis. Like, even when they're playing well, I will agree with that. It does seem like even when they're both playing well, it's like Dame's playing well on his own and Giannis is playing well on his own.
They just watch each other. They literally stand around the perimeter and watch each other work.
Your turn, my turn. And when it really should be like almost how Rollins and KPJ kind of play with Brook at the end of the game, where it's pick and roll, we're playing off each other. It does seem a lot like your turn, my turn. And again, sometimes it works, but you would like to see them play off each other a little more. And I think Kevin Porter Jr., again, I don't know if it's a little more flash, a little more substance. Yeah, he's almost looking for that lob to throw to. And again, he also had it with Sims as well. So yeah, I think that's interesting. Samuel J. Josh says, I wish Terry Stotts is the Bucks head coach. Hell no. Look at it. Now, I'll say it. Doc Rivers ain't no, but Terry Stotts is a retread too. I don't want either one of those guys, like, to be honest with you. Like, no, Terry, I'm good off all these retreads. Again, doesn't mean Doc ain't no world beater either, but Terry Stotts he ain't doing nothing.
No, I disagree with that because a Hall of Famer told me Doc's a good coach that's coaching up a bunch of like that's the thing about Bucks fans. Hey, real quick about the alley-oop thing, like, yeah, but I think as we saw before this unfortunate blood clot incident took place, Dame and Giannis were starting to get a little bit more synergy from what it started originally. However, Trey, what you said about game planning for Dame, look, Chris said it a few shows ago as well. When KPJ misses his first couple shots, he's a liability. You can sag off of him. You can't sag off of Damian Lillard because he'll kill you. The other thing, as far as just like, man, like it's crazy, man. Like, we have two of the best guys to ever play this game in the modern era, right? We're not going to go back from the start of time. But Dame would definitely be top 20 since 2000, I would imagine. And Terry Stotts, I mean, we saw him in Milwaukee. He was terrible here. Dame carried him in Portland. You know, the only thing I wish about Terry Stotts is I wish Adrian Griffin would have punched him in the face when he should have. Sorry. You know me. I ain't media, so I would say what I want to say. God started.
I'll say this real quick. The chat is certainly right, though, when they talk about how, yeah, they've been disappointing, really. I mean, you look at it, they've been disappointing. The only way that they will not be disappointing is they come in the playoffs and they keep that type of scoring up and they get past the second round, get past the first round. So, they've been disappointing when you think about it, bird's eye view. And then also, yes, I don't think Dame has really showed many moments at all that he's a $60 million player, but hey, yeah. That's how we got him. I guess we got to roll what we got to roll with. And then, you know, we get KPJ, we get Dame. If Dame comes back in the playoffs, they're on the same team, guys. So if KPJ's as magnificent as everybody makes him out to be, which I love what he brings to the floor, to the Bucks, then this team will be better.
Yeah. Again, we are hoping that Damian Lillard can make his way back. He posted a picture on Instagram, I think today, of him and Giannis on the floor. You know, just an old picture of them. So a lot of people taking some. I don't think he had anything with it, any words with it. Just a picture. So I think a lot of people are reading some tea leaves there. Doc Rivers saying hopefully he's going to be back. He's shooting the ball. So yeah, we'll see how that works out. Bucks win tonight, 111-107 on New Orleans Pelicans. You guys ready for some game balls? All right, let's do it. Game balls. I'll let you guys go ahead. Where you going game ball? I think a lot of different ways you can go. Bucks have 5 guys in double figures tonight. Almost 4 guys in 20 points. So
yeah, I'm gonna go with Brook Lopez. I thought he really was able to take control of the game towards the end and punish some of the players that just aren't on his level in terms of NBA experience, seasoning, and being out there and getting everybody else involved and not playing selfish, but still being able to put up 20 and 12. Like he had a really good game, and I think that's what helped seal the victory. So I go with Brook Lopez, aka Disneyland.
Hey, you went a different way than I thought. Now you got me all confused, man. Throwing the slider on me, Chris King in a 2-0 count. I'm going to still stay stagnant with what I thought. I'm going to go KPJ. I just think his moxie out there, we're going to talk about moxie, that word that those sports guys that get those journalism degrees like to use. I thought it was amazing tonight, man. Rebound the ball, steal the ball, push the ball, slam dunk the ball, hit the three-pointer, everything he could do. AKA, y'all still mentioning my domestic violence stuff I wasn't convicted of? AKA, I'm going to dunk on you and them domestic violence charges. AKA, we saw your little bum ass in the chat talking about that. AKA, who cares? He's a hooper.
I'm going to stay out of that one. I'm going to stay out.
I got my counsel on the show with me, so I'm okay.
I'm going to stay out of that one. Game ball for me. You guys go. You saw Brook. You saw KPJ. You know what? I'm gonna go with the with the guy who I thought was rolling with KPJ for a lot of that time. I'm gonna go Ryan Rollins tonight. 14 points, career high 10 assists, three rebounds short of a triple double tonight. Ryan Rollins, man, with 4 steals to go with it. I thought he played well. Again, he shot the ball poorly tonight, but again, when you do the little things, I don't care about your shooting. You do all the other things and you play well. And I thought he was just an important piece tonight. 4 steals is big, and he stays himself into the passing lanes. You know he's a thief. He's a thief. So 4 steals don't surprise me out there. Ryan Rollins, a.k.a. light-skinned assassin, a.k.a. I'm still in the target, a.k.a. swiper, no swiping, a.k.a. career high assists. AKA the RR stand for Rolls Royce. So, we out here.
They said they're asking to do game balls for Saturday, which I'm more than happy to give out if you guys want to do that too.
You got to do JT's first, though. Go ahead, Chris.
All right, go ahead. Someone go on JT's.
JT's for tonight?
Yeah.
I would assume he would go with Gary Trent Jr. I would assume nobody else is picking Gary Trent. He goes 29. It'd be Gary Trent Jr.
Okay, yeah. AKA?
AKA stunned like his daddy. There you go.
Hey.
There you go.
Okay, you want to do game balls for a set? Since we missed the game, we do game balls for Milwaukee, Miami. I'll start this one. To me, it's easy. 36, 15, and 10. 1 block, 13, 21 from the field. It was Giannis tonight, the only starter with a positive plus-minus with a plus 17 against Miami. Played 43 minutes. Again, he was just good throughout the basketball game. Took a bad shot. I did not like the shot that he had at the end of the game to get into overtime. And the only reason I say that is because it wasn't necessarily that he took a jump shot. It was where he took it. Like, that's not even his spot. I don't mind you want to get to your jumper. That's not even the spot on the floor he takes it. When he takes that shot at that spot, he typically does it from a back to the basket position with a turnaround jumper for that. And so if I'm not joking. Again, I know they say we don't watch no games, but I believe I've watched every single dribble I've watched every single dribble this year. I cannot recall Giannis once we played over 70 games. I don't know that I've ever seen him dribble to the right side of the floor and take a pull-up midi from the side of the basket with a double team coming to. I don't know that I've ever seen him take that shot. So again, I don't mind getting to the jumper, free throw line extended. The one he took in Charlotte, I thought was good that he missed. And we were there watching that one. Just that one I was fine with. The people didn't like. The one he took there, I didn't like it. Also, you leave 0.7 on the clock. So at least if you're gonna do that, take it, man. Make sure they don't get no time to get a timeout and get back up the floor. But outside that, Giannis was fantastic. So Giannis gets my game ball, aka Greek freak, aka a freak in these streets and in these sheets, aka triple double, aka what? Giannis, stop her.
Hmm.
Yeah, to me, I'm going to go with a guy who showed an immense level of maturity, and that's going to be Kevin Porter Jr. The reason I say that is because he had been in a little bit of a backseat role after Ryan Rollins emerged, and I know these were against not great teams, but Ryan Rollins had good games, and rightfully so. He deserved a lot of minutes. He got that against Philadelphia, and KPJ was just kind of out there, and they won the game, but he only had 8 points. But what the maturity showed was that he could go into the next game against the Heat, in which we remember it was one of his first games with the Milwaukee Bucks. He took over that game against the Heat in that fourth quarter, and they were able to win that one as well, I think. And so for him to be so mature to not complain, not pout about it, and go out the next game and go for 24, 12, and 8, almost a triple-double. And we've seen him have a triple-double with the Bucks before in this season as well, but to have that kind of impact, and then also have another clutch shot, and that could be something that you may look for is, hey, he's hit some clutch buckets now. You got the one against Minnesota the first time around under his belt, and now you got this. It just showed a lot of maturity for me, and he was able to tally 40 minutes that night, and so it's credit to Doc for rolling with him because he needed to be rolled with. Like he was impacting the game on both sides and in a big way. So I'm gonna go with KPJ, aka should have just kept you when we drafted you.
I like that. I like both of y'all game balls. So I'm gonna be honest. I saw none of the game. I saw nothing.
Oh, he's in Dreamville.
I was at Dreamville. My phone was off. I text the homies. I was like, damn, we won? Last text I got, we were down like 12 at the end of the first quarter, something like that, or 10 or whatever it was. But I'm going to go, if I have to give a game ball, Helen Keller version, I'm going to go Doc Rivers. Reason why I'm going to give it to Doc, because Doc had the cojones, shout out to Sirianno from Major League, to pull guys that needed to be pulled. Kuz didn't have his best game. Gary Trent Jr. didn't have his best game. Rollins was struggling, and he made the decision to go with the right hand. That was almost a pause. But I'm going to go with AKA.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
I'm going to go with AKA Big Marquette Energy, AKA Doc, go wake up Shaka. Why he still sleeping while guard making all the move? Oh, that's look around. Sorry. AKA Doc doing his thing, and y'all low-key ain't appreciating it, though.
You know, just as crazy. You read my mind because I didn't know what you're gonna do in game ball, but I was gonna come out here and say honorable mention to Doc Rivers because I was gonna mention that yes, and to me that game should have given you the Doc Rivers haters and the Doc Rivers that should have given you a little bit of hope because it lets you know. And again, Kuzma 100% should have been pulled. He was playing like hot garbage. Against Miami. He's shooting threes off the side of the back. You said you didn't see. He's shooting threes off the side of the backboard. I mean, it was rough. I ain't gonna lie. That was a rough Kuzma game. And Doc Rivers again. You ride the hot hand. That's what you do, and that lets me know. And that's why again I have a little bit of hope that in the playoffs, Doc Rivers is going to. I don't think he's Kuzma's got even tonight. I thought Kuzma had a good game tonight. Kuzma didn't play until he didn't get back into about 2 minutes left in the fourth when he came out. So that just lets me know Doc Rivers, he is definitely an old school coach. He's a ride with your horses type of guy. And so that means I know Giannis is going to play. If Dame's playing, that means I know Dame's going to play. But I do think it lets me know that, he's going to play the guys that I think he thinks he needs to play to try and get a win. So I was, excited to see that. And again, tonight, think about tonight in a game where Rollins had almost come back and taken over the starting point guard position again. And boom, tonight, you flip it right back. And after Kevin Porter Jr. goes for 24, 12, and 8, boom, it's Kevin Porter Jr. starting the game. I don't know, keeping those guys on their toes. But again, they're battling together. And I thought he did a good job tonight playing them both together. I definitely think Doc Rivers deserves a little bit of credit. And even another one tonight where Doc Rivers puts him in his zone. And I thought that changed the game. Like, I think, again, I know we hate on Doc Rivers. I know there's some Doc Rivers has his faults and his problems. And I don't know if it's going to turn out the way we want it to turn out this year when it's all said and done. But he's again, I don't think he's doing a terrible job I don't think he's done a 10% play the game. Now, you want to talk about his offense and what that looks like and how not modern it is, all these DHOs, that's one thing. But maybe we have the substitution pattern issue correct. He talks about the great challenge too. He did. He had an excellent challenge in the game. In that one too. Did he challenge was that a 3-pointer that he challenged the foul on? I can't remember what it was, but you are correct. He did have a good challenge that he won. I believe it was a foul call that they had called, and he challenged it, and it was kind of maybe a questionable whether you should, and he got it and got the challenge. I just can't remember exactly what it was. I do want to get back to NYC Demons super chat though. He says Dame was 27, 8, and 5 on 40% from 3 when we had Sims, who was easily the best screener Dame played with. Then when Sims got hurt, he went back down to 19 points. NYC Demon, that's a good point just about Sims being a screener. Yeah, there's no question Sims is the best screener on the basketball team. Brook Lopez can't seem to screen without moving the entire time. But you know, it's neither here nor there. But yeah, Sims does do that very well. He's an excellent screener. Yeah, NYC, it was an offensive foul on Giannis, right? And they changed it back. So yeah, that was a good one that he 100% did there. See some guys. Io said stop putting down Kuzma. Y'all midi sexual still crying till today. The dude is not playing. Talking about Chris Middleton. And yeah, you know, I believe was that last night that let me see. Hold on. Was that? Oh, that was today. Celtics Wizards. AJ Johnson, 12 points, 4 assists, 12 points on 12 shots. Minus 24. Okay. And then let me keep looking. Damn, I don't see Chris Middleton.
And what was Kuz in the box score? He's plus minus what?
Well, he wasn't a plus, so leave it alone. Nah, he did finish with
he wasn't minus 24 though, was he?
No, he wasn't minus 24. He was minus 5 tonight. But he was 17, 4 and 4 on 8 of 13 shooting. Again, his first half was really good. And again, I get it. He didn't have a great second half, but you got to get through the first half to get to the second half. If he had 0 points, Bucks would have lost tonight. I know that. So anyway, and yeah, you're NYC is right as well. They did switch the reason for trade agent, but that's the other point. Go ahead.
So one thing about since we did the Sidney Moncrief interview, and he mentioned that Doc was a good coach, and I know obviously because Trey is.
You also say Kuzma was a development player, which is crazy.
It's crazy, but Trey is
project,
the Twitter
if you will.
Project.
You don't need any of these other Bucks dudes, and I'm gonna say it because like my check outside of here. You don't need any of the other Bucks dudes, including dudes that are air quote insiders with journalism degrees. I said it again. You don't need them because Trey gonna give you what you need. But Trey caught a lot of flack for that, right? People were talking about Sidney shouldn't have his Hall of Fame leisure and all this other stuff. But I've paid close attention to Doc since the interview. And what I saw him when he pulls Ryan aside today, that is good coaching.
True.
Doc played the backcourt. If I'm going to trust guards, I'm going to trust him with Doc Rivers. Doc is a player's coach. He's fair, and he gets on you. And I think some of the guys before that, they couldn't really take that. You got a James Harden who wants to do it his way. You got a Joel Embiid who he's never there. We ain't talk about Ben Simmons, do we? I mean, we've seen what Chris Paul is. He is shove you after a dunk, shove you in between the dunk and before and after and all that other stuff. So I feel like Doc gets such a bad rap around the NBA. And we talked about it on T's and Q's the other day. We talked about it the last show. Talked about it a couple shows ago. 1,157 wins tonight. This guy has to know something about the game of basketball. And then, like, I know a lot of y'all didn't see this dude play in his prime, but seeing this dude in the backcourt with Spud Webb, Doc can hoop. Let's you ain't got to wholeheartedly trust him. You could think his rotations are this. You could think his whatever. I completely get it. Every coach, I mean, we questioned Bud. I'm sure Larry Costello was questioned. I'm sure Don Nelson was questioned. Every coach in Bucks history was questioned. But Doc is like, look at all these dudes that are out, and Doc is still finding a way to win.
My biggest issue with Doc is the offense. Like it's the offense doesn't look good. That's my only issue is it's clunky at times. Everything else, I think, I agree that I think that he gets a bad rap. It's kind of like Kuzma, where you just get a bad rap because your name's Kyle Kuzma. Doc Rivers, I think, gets a bad rap because his name is Doc Rivers. But that offense, I'm not gonna sit here and act like I look at it and scratch my head sometimes. I do. I just can't. I ain't gonna sit here and lie to you. I'd be wondering what are we doing? We came out of a timeout once tonight, and Torrey Prince had hit a shot, and he comes out, and it was it's almost like the first out he coming. First thing you do is step back mid range. There's no way Doc Rivers said to do that. I'm almost giving Doc a pat. There's no way Doc Rivers said to do that. But that's what we did. I don't know. So but yeah, anyway, that's what we got. Let's go ahead. Let's get to the look around tonight. And the Bucks win 111-107 over New Orleans Pelicans. Bulls win over the Charlotte Hornets. The LA Lakers earlier tonight, 126-99 over the Oklahoma City Thunder. That's a surprising score. Raptors beat the Nets. Huh?
The SGA and them guys play?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, SGA 26-9 tonight. Interesting.
Zero free throw attempts.
Yeah, that's interesting. Right. Something to watch for. Sacramento beat Cleveland tonight. Trailblazers beat the Spurs. Celtics beat the Wizards, as we talked about. That's Daniel Joseph, hilarious. Hawks beat the Jazz. Knicks beat the Sun. The Suns are done. They are 2.5 games out of 10th, and they've lost six in a row. They've lost 6 in a row trying to get to another thing. Since we're on Twitter, another or people, since we're talking about so many people, another thing. I was told Jason Kidd talk about injuries, talk about guys being out. Now you can argue about Jason Kidd, the general manager, and how he tries to assert power. And I'm not even gonna. I won't even get on that. But I'm talking just as a straight up coach. So if that's your problem with him, general manager and all that kind of stuff, then limit his power and say, hey, you're just coaching. You ain't doing nothing else but coaching. But just as a coach, I think he's done an excellent job. I think he does an excellent job every year. Especially every year since he's left Milwaukee. Excellent job. Been to a conference finals, been to a finals, and now he's gonna get his team. And again, the Western Conference is tough. I know his record isn't great. 38-41 is nothing to be like, oh my God. And I know it's the play-in, whatever. But I'm just saying, like, it's better than what's going on in Phoenix. 30. We got to think 38-41 in the West is what? You might be fighting for the 6th seed out east. If you're 38-41 in the West, I'm just saying 38-41 right now would be right. You'd be in the 7th seed in the East. So if you're playing Eastern Conference opponents, I don't know. I'm just saying with all the injuries, no Luka, AD out as well, Kyrie. Jason Kidd gets and again, I'm not saying he's the best coach in the world. My issue always was, and I believe I've been proven right on this, it was Bucks fans treated him like he should never pick up a clipboard. And you were just dead wrong. Dead wrong on that.
Armin Sarian, please come on the show. We need you to come here and talk about this Jason Kidd stuff with us, man. Come on to the couch, brother. We need you, dog.
Pacers beat the Nuggets tonight, 125-120, despite a big game from Joker. And Steph Curry was held to 3 points tonight as the Rockets beat the Warriors. Draymond Green out there elbowing people. That was a mess. But that's what we got. I don't know. Look around. Of course, the NCAA title game's tomorrow night, right?
It's tomorrow.
Tomorrow night. What was it? Houston, Florida? Yep. Houston, Florida. That game last night, we didn't have the creeps of the crossover, but I was watching that Duke game. Couldn't believe. That foul called Cooper Flag was crazy. But again, you can't let Houston get back into the game. It was a bad call. And man, I might put on trash list. What's my man? What's my big man? Whitlock. Whitlock.
He could be a constant resident of the trash.
I couldn't believe. And again, it was a bad call. Bad calls are made like all the time, though.
Absolutely.
He came out of nowhere the other night and said that, or today, and was like, the referee, it was a black dude who called a foul on Cooper Flag and said the referee was a DEI hire. Like, I'm just saying, like, there are bad calls all over the place. I get some of them. I don't get it, but I'm like, there's a lot of examples where you want to go with that DEI stuff. I've never this is like the last. Now, and again, I'm not putting any crease to it. I can see if people wanted to do it about a female official or something like that. I thought we were past the point that black officials, he called a foul on Cooper Flag. That was a DEI hire. I didn't know we were doing it about NCAA officials. I mean, we got enough of those. But the other thing is we have enough examples of bad calls everywhere. Like, everybody makes bad calls. Like, and again, it was admittedly, to me, it's objectively, it was a bad call. But again, the crazy part is that's the NCAA. They call those stupid ticky-tack fouls. I watch all I see is them stupid fouls. So it was par for the course for kind of how they do things, how they operate. But it was a bad foul nonetheless.
Yeah, it was a bad foul, but also bad foul call. But you're up 14 points with 8 minutes to go.
Yep.
You're up 7 points with a buck 27. Like, this game was in your hands. And, oh, by the way, yes, Houston takes the lead, but you have a chance at it, and you miss. Cooper Flag, you missed the midi. Hey, I don't hate it. I think it's good for Houston to finally get one. And your boy, after starting rough, I climbed back in that bracket challenge just to put some respect on my own name. I climbed back. I'm in the top 15.
Top 15.
There's a lot of people that might have been like, "Oh, Chris is a fake college basketball fan," because I was probably hovering at the bottom for a long part of that damn bracket. But my Houston Cougars, they got me right, and maybe I can crack the top 10 if they get a win.
Well, but you know what? The other thing I'll say before, sorry, Justin. The crazy part is, our guy Danny, he had 3 brackets in. They were all he had 3 in the top 4. He lost He had all of the brackets had Duke winning. Duke lost, and I believe you can look like the forecast, like you can see what. Yeah. Danny had 3 of the top 4 going into the Final Four. He now, I believe, has 0% chance of finishing top 3 in any bracket. He went from getting all, which is crazy. But yeah, anyway, yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, Bruce Pearl almost had me in there, and then they kind of crapped the bed. But hey, man, I still remember 2015 with Justice Winslow being out of bounds. So hey, it's a bad foul call, it's bad whatever. But oh well, eat it, Duke. Like, you robbed the state of Wisconsin off the only national championship they could have had in my life. Coach K put that big Pinocchio nose in the referee's ears, and they made every foul call. I mean, you had that dude that couldn't even shoot the ball when we down 2, and he had a wide open shot for the Milwaukee Bucks, Grayson Allen, elbowing dudes, breaking their jaws for the Wisconsin Badgers. So I'm glad to see Duke lose. I had a parade in my city. I think I got some ticker tape left for y'all if y'all want some of it in y'all city. Anytime Duke loses is a great day for me. I don't like Carolina, but I hate Duke even more. But tomorrow's going to be exciting, man. Oh, yeah. You got the best offense and the best defense. So I love matchups like this. I want to see Calvin Sampson win it because he's an old Bucks assistant.
I do too.
I just think he has a great story. You got the youngest coach, the oldest coach. Like, we got the everything that's left and right and blah, blah, blah. So, hey, man, let's have a night. And, hey, man, Chris King showed you. Talk your stuff, Chris. You top 10 after tomorrow when Houston gets them.
I hope so. And that's going to be a good game, though. I really do like the Florida's dynamic, man. Like, you watch them, and they look different. So we'll see what happens between those two. I think Walter Clayton, as Todd said, he's a really good player. Elijah Martin has been phenomenal. He's been there before, as is LJ Cryer for Houston. So it should be fun. It should be a real fun game. I'm just hoping that it stays close. And with a Houston team like that, it most certainly will be a close game.
Yeah, no, I think it's gonna be funny. For what reason, I want Kelvin Sampson to get him one too. Y'all wild in the chat. I said, I'm not talking about Buddy. I refuse. I'm just good off the whole thing. So it's kind of like the Christmas. I'm just good off of it. But I see y'all are funny.
Daniel on this whole stand-up act on the homie though.
Yeah,
Hey,
y'all wild.
But real quick for y'all Badger fans in the chat, Gregory Gard, he been making some moves. He got the kid coming in for Virginia, kid coming in for Portland, sharpshooter, and now we got that boy for San Diego State. We might have something cooking up here in the America's great Dairyland, man. I hope Shaka can kind of get that memo because we know one thing about Chris King and AG over there in Dayton. Hey, Shaka, if you sleeping, you might go up there and get another one, Trey. And I hate to see it again, man, because that first one was terrible.
Todd, what do you mean? You said it would suck to have the first pick and be stuck with Flag. Come on now, Flag's a hell of a player.
Absolutely.
I don't get down. Flag is gonna be. I think he's gonna be at least a star. I don't know if he's gonna be a superstar. He's gonna be a star in the NBA, for sure. No question about it.
Flag in his all whatever versus Jabari Parker, no injuries. Who you taking?
If Jabbar didn't get hurt, man, Jabbar would have been. Again, I think Jabbar would have maybe been like the comp was mellow. The comp was mellow, and you saw a lot of it. Todd says he's a Gordon Hayward clone. Nah.
Oh my God.
I like Flag, man, and I think again he's a winner, man. He's a winner, 100%. He's a winner.
Gordon Hayward, Kelly clone is crazy.
Yeah,
they were
probably the best team in the country, though.
Absolutely.
Win. So I don't know necessarily a winner.
He's a freshman. Okay, are we holding freshmen at that standard now?
Yeah, 100%.
Are we?
100%. They were 14 points with 8 minutes left.
Wow. I get that.
You can't go one field goal in the last 10 minutes of the game. You can't do that. And if you're gonna be a star in the NBA, man, I don't care freshman. I don't care 25-year-old senior. You got to get more. You got to will your team to that game to win that game. And they didn't. He didn't do it.
Yeah,
I hear you.
Like this is crazy.
Jabari Parker lost to Mercer in the first round of the NCAA tournament in Raleigh, North Carolina.
He's not a superstar.
If he hadn't got hurt,
maybe.
Oh yeah, maybe. But that'd have been a hell of a 1-2 connection. That'd been crazy.
Who Kyrie lose to?
He was hurt.
I thought he was hurt. I thought
he didn't play
like 11 games.
Yeah, he didn't. He was done. He was done. Anything else you guys want to get to in the look around? I'll say that. I saw the some stories out in Green Bay of people. Of course, the draft will be there in a few weeks. Saw some stories where people aren't renting their homes for as much as they thought, and like it's not getting as much attention, as much buzz as I think they thought it was going to get. Which is not it's not surprising to me. Again, Green Bay is not a destination city. Is what it is. And yeah, I don't think that I get it. And will they have a crowd? Yeah, of course they will. I think you have a lot of people from the Wisconsin area, from the Midwest that makes the trek. But I don't think it's gonna be this thing where I think people thought like everybody's gonna come in from around the country to come here and they're gonna spend an arm and a leg to come to Green Bay. And I don't think that's happening. I really don't. I don't see that. And they're going to spend exorbitant amounts of money to stay in your Airbnb that you tried to rent out. I don't see it. But good try.
I got to turn the comments off. Daniel gonna make me lose my religion. So as far as the draft thing, right? I'm probably about to piss a lot of y'all college football people off. I had the opportunity to come up, go to the draft. Great experience or whatever. I declined. I don't for me when I watch the draft, bro, honestly, I kind of watch it for a couple rounds and then I'll have it on as background noise, but I don't watch it intently like that. And then I read all the recaps and the podcasts and watch them about what the Packers did, et cetera, because I'm a Packers fan. And then I watch HBCU alum. I watch what the HBCU guys did and stuff like that. But I'm not going to go to Wisconsin for that. I'd much rather go to Wisconsin and see a Brewers game or a Bucks game or a Bucks playoff game, play golf, something like that. I can't go stand in an area where they're going to call your name and that bring excitement to me. Maybe I'm off, but I'd much rather go to a Packers preseason game than that. Just me.
Yeah, I think it's one of these where, like, yeah, if it was in Charlotte, I would probably pull up. I'd want to see the Panthers pick. But yeah, am I standing there for an hour? No, now you talking now. I do want to see where Shador go. I think there's some intrigue. I'm intrigued by what happens with Travis Hunter. I'm intrigued by what happens with Shador, Cam Ward. Once you get outside of that, and then whoever my team would pick, I don't know that I'm super intrigued. Vlad Guerrero Jr., 14 years, 500 million to stay in Toronto.
He got that?
Yep.
Woo!
Yep. That's extension. 14 years, 500 million.
Sheesh.
A lot of money.
That kid is a heck of a talent, man. He's just phenomenal, man. And I'm happy for these baseball guys getting this money. I'm really
happy.
What
would Giannis get if they had if there was no
10
salary?
Billion. Yeah. 10 billion. 10 billion.
Crazy.
10 billion, and he can have Cavalier Johnson's job. Sorry, Cavalier. He could have whoever the governor is, he can have your job too. But these baseball guys, man, I love to see them getting the money, man. These guys go through a lot of injury stuff that is soft tissue stuff that impacts their life forever. The elbow stuff, the knee stuff, et cetera, et cetera. And it's good for Vlad, but Vlad's proven himself on a major league level. But what really excites me about this stuff is these minor league dudes. Like, you saw the Brewers lock up Jackson Trio for 10 years. You see a couple of the other teams start to lock guys up for 8 to 10 years. And I think that's just great. And I mean, unless you've taken a trip to the Dominican Republic, I mean, I don't think any of us have taken a trip to Venezuela, but when you see where some of these guys come from, $80 million over 10 years can change your entire city's life. So it's great. Oh, and by the way, Brewers back to 500 again, though, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, at my expense.
That's all right,
it's
man.
okay. It's okay. I'm happy for the Brewers, man. Churrio's got it going now, so we're looking good.
Yeah, good deal. Daniel, man. Yeah, you're repping for the cream, so good job. Good deal. Let's pause it there, man. Good stuff, of course, as always. Bucks win at 111-107. I'll pause here for any final words before we wrap on the Bucks and Pelicans or anything on the Bucks as we get out of here and look back to get back at you Tuesday night after the Bucks play the Timberwolves.
Why not? Why not beat the Timberwolves too? Why not go 5 in a row after we had a very bad stretch of basketball? And you're missing guys, missing Giannis, missing Dame, but it's doable. If you don't, is Giannis playing Tuesday or no?
I think we'll see. They said it went a long term. It was, and they mentioned it was a shoulder today. Yeah, just damn it, making stuff up. But
probably. But regardless, why can't we go beat this Timberwolves team? This Timberwolves team has picked it up as of late. A lot different from what we saw when we were able to sneak one right before the deadline. But at the same time, we're playing good basketball again. So why not go get one?
Just keep hooping, man. Just find a way to kind of start stringing this stuff together. I agree with y'all. I mean, we beat them without the two best dudes in the NBA, in my opinion, but I'm biased. But Giannis, if he plays or if he doesn't play, I got a sneaky suspicion with Rudy Gobert out there. He's going to want to come play and dunk on that guy. So come out, play good basketball. Let's just keep this going to the postseason. Let's get to this. Hopefully we can keep this 5 seed. And Todd is crazy. Cooper Flag compared to Andrew Bogut. Yikes.
Yeah, no, man, I'm with you guys. I like you said, I like what I see. Even though, and I know people say, "Oh, you beat the Pelicans. Look at this roster. Look at this lineup." What I like is these in the clutch, what these guys look like, what they look like late, how they're playing late in games, what they're, I'm seeing guys step up. And if you tell me that Damian Lillard, like, to me, does Rollins not look like a guy who could play? Rollins look like he could play. Kevin Porter Jr., again, I think he has a low floor, but his ceiling is substitute KPJ for, if you put Lillard on the back of his jersey in that Miami Heat game, we'd have been like, damn, what a game from Damian Lillard. So, I mean, if you put that together, Brook Lopez late in games, put that together with what's going on. You got Bobby coming back. You get Sims coming back. Listen, I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying the Bucks are going to come into a postseason as more of an underdog kind of feel, as more of a we don't know what they're going to bring, we don't know what they're going to do. It's a different kind of situation when you're the hunter and no longer the hunted. Because I think you're going to go into, even if it's the Pacers, I don't think the Pacers are going to be like, oh, okay, here come the Bucks. I think they're going to go into it with a level of confidence, like, hey, we could beat this team. We didn't beat them before. We're going to beat them again. I think that's how they're going to go into it. And again, it's just a different feeling than we got to go get these guys. And I think the Bucks are going to have that feeling this year of we got to get back. We got to do what we got to do. And you know, I'm excited to see that. I want to thank everybody for watching tonight, listening. If you were on YouTube, if you were on the Twitter, all of that. Oh man, damn, I'll be forget. It's like I'm starting to forget Twitter. All right, let me real quick.
Hey, Chris King, what Dayton Flyer softball doing while you looking it up, bro?
Got rained out this weekend, so no games. But that means I was able to get it rained out too.
Hey yo,
she sleep.
All right. Okay. Well, I was gonna have a joke, but I'm gonna save it. Water jokes. All right. Coming back with it.
After dark.
Yeah,
8:30. This is a rescheduled game. This wasn't supposed to be a show.
Yeah, I know. That's what it's supposed to be. Going to the Twitter at JulesESQ says Bucks get back reinforcements for the next game. If the Bucks need to get their rebounding and defensive identity back in time for the playoffs, Bucks will bury the Pacers so they can retain the 5 seed. Dame returning for Cleveland series will hit like a mucka bucka. Okay. NYC Randy says KPG was a damn heist. I don't think Marjan has even played yet. Bring on them damn Pacers. Giannis is going to be dressed in all black for what he's going to do to him. At Sunk345 says, good win. Too bad the Pelicans were finishing like Giannis in the paint tonight. At Shaq Beef 94 says KPJ and Ryan Rollins are going to be huge for this team in playoffs. Now that we have Bobby back, I need that. Rollins, KPJ, GTJ, Kuz, Bob, AJ Green, TP minutes should be glued to Giannis. And don't be afraid to lower Brook to token starter minutes depending on the matchup. At Midwest Baby 3 says this squad tonight, plus add in Giannis, Dame, Sims, Portis. We're a serious threat. Only one problem, our coaching staff. That deters everything. At Diamond Joe 6969 says, please, sir, can you never call a win until the game is over? And that was because I posted the that we won with about a minute and something left, and they did make it dicey on us. At Die Hard says, well, besides Rollins almost tossing the game at the end, fun. Almost four 20-point scores. Brook finally got over 5 rebounds with a nice double-double and 4 blocks. Rollins, besides his debacle at the end, gets 4 steals. At the Wisconsin kid says 30, 15, and 4, and 6 steals combined from the 2-point guard. Trent needs to start in the playoffs. Brook had a good game tonight. We'll do a couple more at GA_hoop, who's a Kuzma hater. Says Kyle Kuzma actually played decent today. I'm pleasantly surprised. Good team win. And last one, Jay Phil in Texas says KPJ starter, period. End of story. And he should be their top priority for a long-term contract. All thing I say is it is so funny. This is the last thing I say before we wrap. It's so funny how different people feel when you win versus when you lose. And it's like you can play the same way and you just find a way to lose the game. And people go, like if we had lost, I'm not talking about this, but if we lost the Miami game, we had a show. Let me say this. If we had a show after the Miami game, people would have been going crazy about how great, KPJ, this is, man, we like to just say, they ain't gonna run. We could be dangerous. If we lost that game in overtime, it would have been, I knew it. This team sucks. Giannis can't do it alone. Kuzma's ass, he got benched. Doc Rivers is terrible. And we might as well trade the team. That's how it would have been. Like, I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying anything about anybody in particular. I'm just saying the vibes are always different when you win. Winning cures everything. I remember there was a game, I can't remember what it was, when I think Kuzma turned it over. No, Ryan Ross turned it over a few nights ago. And you saw Giannis on the bench throw the towel. And some people, that means Giannis is gone. He's leaving because he's upset. Relax. Winning cures all. That's everything. Winning cures all. Todd, I would say you're wrong. Flag should probably stay at Duke and get another $5 million. No, again, the reason you don't do that, and we talked about this before, the reason you don't do that, you need to get to the NBA. It's not like Flage and them girls in college. The girls, yes, stay your years, get your NIL money. Yep. The guys, you want to get into the NBA as soon as possible because the sooner you get there, the faster you can get to that second contract. And that when you get to those max contracts. So no, it doesn't really $5 million over the long run, extra $5 million for staying at Duke. No, I'd rather go to the league. You can still get another $5 million in sponsorships in the league. But no, I want to get to that second deal where you give me 40, 50, 60 million a year as soon as possible. That's what I'm trying to get to if I'm in college. But anyway, okay, now I want to appreciate everybody for watching tonight, YouTube, Twitter, all that good stuff. You could have been in the world, but you were here with us, and we appreciate it. You were sticking with the best Milwaukee Bucks post-game show in all the land. That's the Cream City Crossover. Do me a favor, hit the like button, follow, subscribe, all that. Tell a friend, tell another friend, tell another friend about the Cream City Crossover. I want to thank our sponsors tonight as well. Curls, one from Sports Bar Grill out there in Pewaukee, Wisconsin, Lakeview Boulevard. Appreciate them as always. Go out there, good food, good eats, good all that. Tell them the Groove, tell them the Cream City Crossover sent you. That's Curly's, Water from Sports Bar Grill, sponsor of the Cream City Crossover. I think that's everything, man. Again, it's really fun. We're getting down to the end of the year. Looking forward to it as the Bucks continue on and try their journey. This has been a Cream City Media Group production from Guru. Check us out.
Chris King.
Justin.
Family, anyways, long because I dare to tell you the truth. Don't take no wooden nickels. Correct.